wants to start piano lessons or music lessons. I bet you're thinking, ooh, this sounds like a really young age to begin, maybe nervous to start teaching them. So today we're going to be talking about resources and ideas and a lesson plan to teach those really young preschool students. And so I'm curious, what's the youngest age you've ever taught? Hopefully, by the end of this live stream, if you haven't taught preschoolers before, you will be able to feel motivated and ready to start teaching preschoolers. And if you already teach preschoolers, hopefully you'll get some new ideas to teach them and get them excited. So, before I begin, I just want to introduce myself to people who don't know me. So I'm Alexa Madison, owner of Piano Language, and I have a piano studio in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I have a store called Piano Language where I share sheet music and games and resources that's motivating, encouraging for any age. Also great for recitals. But anyway, we're going to be talking about preschoolers, how to teach them. So first thing that I like to teach is the black keys, the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. And so first you may want to have them look for all the 2 black keys and play them on the piano. And then you want to find lots of games that will be able for them to remember the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. So this game I want to share, it's called Black Key Bingo. It's actually on my website, free printable. And so for those students who play bingo, this is a great way to have a little fun with them. And you can use pebbles or animal erasers, which I'll share later. And so you just print onto cardstock, and there's a bunch of different colors for them to pick. And then this just has them identify the groups of 2 and 3. The game is really simple. I mean, there's only 2 options to pick from, but the point of it is that they're able to identify those 2 and 3 black keys. So anything that I share today, if you want the link, then just comment the game or the resource, and then I'll message you the link. So this one, just comment Black Key Bingo. Also, if you're watching the replay right now, let me know. And I also want to share this game from Colorful Keys. So it's called Dogs and Gates. Though I laminated them, but I probably shouldn't have because they're supposed to be folded. And here's the gates. And these fit perfectly onto the 2 and 3 black keys. So the gates go on the 3s and the dogs go on the 2s. And so once they're able to put all the dogs on the 2s and then the gates on the 3s, you may be wondering why dogs and why gates. Apparently, once you start learning the letters on the keys, the dog stands for the D in the middle, and then the gates, G and A, right in the middle of the 3 black keys. That's for later on when they start learning that. Let me know if you want this resource, the Dogs and Gates game. Really easy for them to have look for those 2 and 3 black keys there. But I probably don't laminate like I did. Just do cardstock. Oh, and I see some people are tuning in. Let me know that you're watching. I see that Susan has joined. I also want to share this awesome game. Helps them find the highs and the lows on the piano. So these cards here have either something high or something low, and then I just put them in an envelope and then have them pick a card randomly, and then they play a high note to go along or low note, and this is an awesome resource. Could also be used for up to ages 7 or 8. Doesn't have to just be preschoolers. Oh, I totally forgot. For the black key bingo, I used this foam dice that I got from the dollar store, and so I just wrote numbers 2 and 3, and then we roll the dice to have so they know which one they're picking on the board. They have it in red and yellow. I actually have both colors. They're really awesome for these games. These dice also work great for learning finger numbers or letters on the keys or chords or rhythms. So I highly suggest getting dice like these. They love rolling the dice up high. I encourage them to get it as high as they can. And the next thing I want to share is improvisation. So I'm really crazy about improvising. Actually, last week in the piano language teaching group, I talked only about improvising. And this is especially great for really young students. There's a bunch of music out there that they only use the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys that have teacher duets. One example is on my store. There's a book called Inspiration. The first section's only 2 black keys and 3 black keys. So you can actually have them start on the very first lesson. Maybe not the 3-year-olds, maybe more like 4 and 5, but have experiment with the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. And it's a lot of fun for them to when they're playing as a duet. And it makes them, it encourages them, motivates them, and the parents. It gets them really excited. And so I'm working on a book that's going to be coming out soon that's designed for young kids, especially preschoolers, but can work up to ages 10. It's called Alphabet Party. And so it's designed for them to recognize all the letters on the keys in the piano. So they find all the C's on the piano and D's and E's. And there's teacher duet parts, and there's improvisation for each one. Also helps them find the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys, and helps them keep a steady beat. And these songs helps them learn how to play as a duet, tempo and rhythm, and obviously notes. So if you guys want to get notified when this is released, this will be released in about 2 weeks. It's called Alphabet Party, so let me know. And but anyway, yes, lots of improvising is awesome. Let me know if you guys teach improvisation to your students, and what's the very youngest age you've ever taught a student before. For me, it's been 3 years old. I'm still teaching that 3-year-old. She's now 3 and a half, getting close to 4 now. And so she's learned a lot in the last 6 months. But the key is to go slow, to keep reinforcing the same concepts and having them so they can remember them over time. The next resource I want to share, rhythms. So this game is really awesome because it has quarter note, half note, whole note, dotted half note. It's called Quarter Note Hunt. So it's actually only designed for learning quarter notes, but I actually use it for all rhythms. But I just have them start by learning which one's the quarter note, how many beats it gets, and then I hide all the cards in the room. They just prop up like this. And then so I just say, look for all the quarter notes. Or I just have them say, if it's a quarter note, or if something that they haven't learned, or how many beats it gets, and then I add each one onto the next. And then I want to share about finger numbers, because a lot of method books starts music out with just finger numbers. So an easy way to start this is get some construction paper, have them pick a nice color, and then have them trace their hands on the paper, and then label which one's left hand and right hand. Have them do LH, RH, and then have them label their finger numbers. Now they can use that resource to look back on in the future. I want to share with you guys, this is a resource you absolutely need to have for young kids. I know you guys already have, many of you already have animal erasers, but I stocked up on a bunch of them, and my students just go crazy over them. So a couple things that you can do with these. For that Black Key Bingo game that I was sharing earlier as game pieces, I also have pebbles that I got from the dollar store. And then I also put letters on them. Sorry about the glare. But the animal erasers are really awesome for also learning. You can use them for learning the keys on the piano. You can say, I want you to put this cat on middle C. Okay, now I want you to get more erasers and put them on all the C's. And this would also be great if you're using Alphabet Party, that book I was talking about earlier. Have them look for all the C's and then play the song with all the C's. But you can find erasers like these anywhere, on Target, on Amazon or eBay. If your students go crazy like mine do, there's certain erasers they like to use a lot. For my students, they like using the cat eraser because I like using it. And if you don't know why I like using the cat eraser, because I have 2 cats. Sorry, they're not here right now for those people that want to see them. And the last thing I want to share is some easy songs that you can teach by rote. So an easy one is Mary Had a Little Lamb, just teach it on the 3 black keys, or Old MacDonald. An easy one is Sunrise. It's actually from the Piano Language Repertoire book, and that one, it mostly has them look for middle C first, and then it's very simple rhythms. It has a really great teacher duet part that I love playing with them. And actually I'm having my 5-year-old student play this song for the recital because she feels comfortable sitting next to me. So if you guys want to have your preschool students join in your next recital, I suggest getting some easy rote pieces like those to have them play that they feel comfortable with, that are really easy. So I hope this live stream has been helpful for everyone. Let me know, what's the very youngest student you've ever taught? I don't know how anyone can beat 3 years old. I mean, it's already pretty young. I've heard teachers say the youngest they take on is 3.5 or 4, but if anyone else has also taught 3. And let me know if you want any of the links to the resources I shared today. And I'll see you guys next week in the Piano Language Teaching Group. That's where I'll do the next live stream. Thanks. Bye.